That was the best part of the show. You should have kept that.
Okay, Kirk, we're ready.
Dr. Williams, tell us about the spiritual climate in Tampa when you arrived.
Kirk, I think the spiritual climate in Tampa would be what you say is typical to a southern town. There were a lot of Baptist churches preaching the gospel. But as far as a town where there was a Bible teaching, covering the books of the Bible, there was nothing like that here. And I was told there wasn't anything like that here. There were a couple of small churches, but I really wasn't aware of.
Tell us, Dr. Williams, about the purposes for starting the church. I know there were 3 or 4 very distinct reasons why this church, Christ Community Church, was begun here in Tampa.
My reason was, since I had gone back to Dallas, I had pastored down in Houston for about 6 years, I had always had the desire to start a church. And I wasn't particular about where I wanted to start it. I did want to start it in the southern eastern part of the United States. I'm a southerner. And I was asked to come and speak at a church in Birmingham. I just didn't like that whole setup. I wasn't comfortable with that. And so I was looking for a place where I felt like we could have a citywide ministry that would touch the Tampa Bay area. And frankly, Kirk, I wanted to see other churches started from this church.
Great. And you wanted to see the whole counsel of God proclaimed, right?
I felt like that. The Lord says through Timothy, preach the word. I think that covers the word. I never felt that I was a pulpit master. I always wanted to be, but that's just not my gift. I did feel I was a pastor, teacher, and I felt that I wanted to teach the whole Word of God.
Very good. What about the issue of the church being non-denominational and self-governing?
That suited me fine. I like that. I had come out of a denominational background. I never really felt that I came to know the Lord through that. And I really felt that I wanted a church that was focusing on the Lord and upon His Word.
Very good. Tell us now about this building and about the location and where the church is presently located. Tell us, first of all, how the church acquired this location.
Well, let me start by backing up 2 years. Because I spent the first 2 or 3 years of my life looking for property. I happened to be teaching Sunday school, Sunday night, Sunday morning, Wednesday night. I had a Friday night Bible study, and I may have had some other stuff, but those were things that I did on a regular basis. So I was doing that all the time. Now, what was your question again, Kirk?
The question is location. How did you end up at this location?
During that time, for 2 years, and with different leads and this, that, and the other, and even putting down, offering a price on one piece of property that I thought if we put it here, it'll be the end of it. It would never get more than a little church. But at any rate, the Lord would stop this and wouldn't open that door, and I spent a lot of time, 2 years that I remember, searching and looking, and finally, through one of our members, this piece of property became available, and I was told about it. And I thought, it's completely impractical. It's 168 feet wide, and it's way deep toward Del Mabry. It's not a feasible use of a piece of property. We'll never grow there. I've seen too many little churches on the side of a hill that's sitting there because they started a Sunday school first. Didn't want that.
So tell us how the Lord worked this out. What was the miracle the Lord did?
I don't remember exactly how that came to pass, but someone mentioned this property, and we looked at it, and I was thinking it's not suitable, but we have to do something. We've been looking a long time. So we settled on this, and we dedicated this. One of the men that I led to the Lord was involved in that, and we dedicated the property. But just between you and me, it was probably the saddest day of my life. And that's a fact.
But what did the Lord do to turn things around? Tell us about that.
Well, He worked a miracle, but the miracle didn't start right away. So let me tell you a little stories, and you can pick and choose what you like of this. But Mr. Jacobson and his wife were next door. They were farmers. They loved horticulture and all that kind of stuff. And just as a parenthesis, his father or grandfather, I think father, was the one who developed cauliflower. But that's beside the point. But Mr. Jacobson would tell me, yes, we'd love to sell. And we'd go over there with some papers, sign here. And between that time and the time we'd like to sell, Ms. Jacobson had worked on Mr. Jacobson, and we weren't ready to sell. And we went through that drill for at least 2 years, maybe 3. And I don't know how many times he told me he was willing to sell, and Mama would say, we ain't willing. She never said it to me, but Papa got the message. So we didn't get the property because they weren't willing to sell. And so we were sort of caught on the horns of that dilemma.
But finally, they did sell the north side of the property to you.
They sold this 168 feet of land, and that was where we started. And that's all we had. And I felt like, as I say, this was the end of the vision because I thought it died there.
Tell us about how you acquired the south side of the property.
Well, that, and the only way I know to describe it, was a miracle of the Lord, and it began on my knees. In that, I was, for 2, maybe 4 years, I was just very anxious over that. I thought, we've got to have more land. And I talked to the Jacobsons, and that would just be like wasting time. And so one day I said, I don't know what brought me to this point, but I just said, you know, this is absurd. I didn't say it that wisely, but I said, this is not going to work. So I basically said, Lord, you'll have to work it out. I can't. And you work it out as you will. So we ended up swapping the deep land that would never be feasible for a church for the property that we now have, both to the north and to the south, so that we could expand and grow and develop. So it was a miracle, Kirk, as plain and simple as I know how to say. I really believe it was a miracle.
Very good. Thank you. We're going to stop there for a moment.
Yeah. This light is going to make me nuts.
Now, I don't know how much of this you'll be able to use time-wise. You'll obviously have to do a lot of editing. But anyway.
So far, so good. I think you're doing a great job.
Well, I'm just talking, but that's what I do.
Well, it's what we need. It's what we needed to hear.
That's what I do.
Does that need to be tightened up? Is that, if it drops down, you think that turns it off? I don't know.
No, there's a short somewhere.
Okay.
I'm not sure where it is.
All right. What do you need? What do we need?
Run your finger down the pipe. You'll
Well,
find it, Courtney.
If you would give me like 3 minutes, I can go get another light. and
Yeah, go ahead.
Change it out and take it. That may solve it, it may not, I don't know.
All right. Well, go ahead and do that.
That's not Courtney.
I need
That's
to
Greg.
talk to Aaron for just a second. So just,
Who's talking?
as they say, take 5.
Take 5. What does my coach have to say?
Not saying anything. Over here at home. Not saying anything.
That's probably as well. I think it's probably a lot more than you can cram into a short time, and if they want this, they can edit it down and use it in the church archives and show it from time to time when it might be of interest or whatever. Hang that on the back of my neck so I don't put it.
I can't believe we're getting thunderstorms at 11 o'clock.
What starts at 11?
The thunderclouds.
Oh,
Try to get thunderstorms.
Oh, well, that's not gonna help you. That's not gonna help you. Broadcasting. Lord, send the storms away a little while, if you please. Thank you. He'll slow the storms down for you, Greg.
Plug it in, Greg?
Yeah, good.
Something in the box.
Bypass it, see if it goes.
Into here?
Yeah.
Is it flicked on for a second?
Does that mess anything up if I move that chair a little bit?
It's weird.
Let me try a different, I don't think so, Pastor Williams.
All I did was just turn the chair square to that diamond where I'm supposed to look, so I'm not sitting crooked in the chair.
Sometimes you want a little body turn.
Well,
Yeah.
what, if you want it that way, then...
No, I mean, we'll ask Greg, but that's.
Yeah, yeah, let the director, whatever the director wants, that's what we get.
I'm gonna go up here.
Besides that, Greg, you're the guy that has to look at this, not me. I've been there and done that.
Where's the light for this room?
There may not be one.
It's probably burned out. You know, the adversary's gonna make everything difficult.
Yeah.
He can. Must be worth something. He's trying to hinder us. I don't know what's wrong with him. Does that light over there help a lot? This background light help a lot?
It does, yeah, it really does.
Okay, try it again, Corky, I've got it in a different outlet.
I think it was on. Oh, there we go.
There, light. Let there be light.
You gotta
Start again the light bill.
Now look at this, Greg.
Alright,
We got a blinking light, Greg.
once we get it set, it'll be right.
Here's Kirby gonna get the rest of it in living
Got any gaffer's tape or anything?
color.
I don't know whether there's any in there or not, I usually carry some, but I don't know.
How long have y'all been coming here, Kirby? You, your mom and your sisters?
My parents started coming here when I was a toddler.
Long time.
You got it, that's right.
Now, I don't see your dad much. Does he come very often?
He passed away.
What's that?
He passed away.
Oh, beg your pardon. I didn't remember that.
That's okay. He stopped coming a long time ago because he was sick.
What kind of problem did he have?
He had congestive heart failure.
Oh,
And
how old was he when he passed away?
how old was he?
Yeah, he had a stroke originally, didn't he? Because I
Yes.
remember
No,
he was sick.
he did not have a stroke. He
Sure.
had-
We went to his funeral.
Well, sure, that doesn't mean anything.
I
don't
know,
remember.
I know.
He was
Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah, well, he needed a pacemaker.
That's what,
and
yeah.
The surgery had complications at the end.
So he couldn't work the thing, or it didn't work right or something?
Yeah, well, he got a pacemaker when I was 2 years old, and then it was just
How we doing?
progressive.
He did what?
He got a pacemaker when I was 2
Oh,
years
pacemaker,
old.
pacemaker when you were young, yeah.
And
yeah.
then, like, because his heart just never worked right. And
Yeah.
then
Oh, that's,
by the time he died, he also had diabetes and just his body. just-
well, that adds to the problem too.
Yeah.
That really, that compounds everything.
Yeah, his liver wasn't working right. He had asthma. It was just really bad.
It was just a real,
See, the Lord had mercy on me. I should have had diabetes, but I got hypoglycemia, which went the other way. And if I'd had diabetes, I'd been dead 40 years ago, probably. But the Lord wants to keep me around and keep Lillian happy. Don't strike me, Lord. Don't strike me now.
oh, not going there.
Oh,
Yes, I remember for years we prayed for your dad. And
Now, how long has your family been coming to the church then? For years, I know.
For years.
30 years?
No, I said 4 years.
4 years.
It's an FOR.
Okay, yeah.
So it's been a long time. We stopped coming as a family for a few years, just, I guess, when I was in middle school, and we started coming back when I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
And then, so we've been coming pretty steadily for the last 4 years.
Now, are there 3 of you sisters or 4?
There's my mom, my sister, and I, but my mom and I, we all look a lot alike, so I can understand. why you
Well,
have
I don't know
sisters.
why I thought there were 3 girls, but I guess that's, I know your mom's your mom, of course. But
Okay, as soon as Kirk gets back, we can continue.
Well, look all right, Greg, because I did move that chair at Ted, and I didn't know you had it that way. Absolutely, but it was, the chair was pushing me one way, and I was sitting.
All right, let me look and I'll tell you.
If it
I
messes
think
it
you're,
up,
I think you're
exactly
fine.
what you wanted. You're the director, and I shouldn't probably have moved it, but I did. But just about a couple of inches.
No, you're fine.
I
You're,
didn't think it would affect me.
you're perfectly fine.
That's good. Now, if you want to know whether it affected it or affected it, I'll tell you if you really like to know that, but you don't really care. Because that's my stronghold, is my grammar.